Assange once said, the penetration of the society by the internet and the penetration of the internet by the society is one of the most significant things that has happened to global human civilization. Well, you can choose to agree or disagree, but you cannot dispute the fact that the internet is one of the most significant inventions that has happened to the 20th and the 21st century. You're welcome to another episode of the Booth Talkshow, brought to you by Phronesis Media Gh. Now, on this show, we bring to you the most interesting minds that this generation has to offer on a wide variety of topics. My name is Adjoa Dubai, and I'm your host for this show. Stay tuned. So today we are hanging out at Sankey's Bar and Restaurant inside the Jubilee Mall, KNUST, and we are going to have a very interesting chat about Africa in this digital age. Now, since the outset of this digital age, technology has increased exponentially. This has bridged the gaps between different countries, reduced the size of the globe, and blurred international boundaries. Some individuals and corporations, however, have understood and harnessed the internet and have used it to gain big bucks. Africa, on the other hand, seems to have been left behind. And it's not like I'm trying to downplay Africa per se, but there is no African country or state which has made it to the list of the top 20 digitally matured countries ever. I mean, how did we get here, and what are we going to do about it? To help with our discussions today is Mrs. Theresa Samuelle-Adjaidoo. She is a computer genius, and anytime I find women in this field, I'm so excited. She is a computer engineer, a software developer, the CEO of Alayotrade Ghana Limited, and the brains behind Alayotrade. You're welcome, Mrs.
Thank you.
Okay, so anytime I meet ladies in this field, I mean in the computer engineer, computer science field, I always congratulate them. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a star for the younger generations to follow. So no, I just want to ask this question: is it as difficult as people assume it is?
No, I don't really think so. I think it's just as any other.
Any other?
Yes.
Or maybe you're shocked, that's why you're saying that.
Not necessarily. With anything, excellence and hard work, diligence, you can make it. So that's why I say it's just like any other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. Anyways, when I was growing up, mostly when you ask me what I want to be, and my colleagues, most of them talk about being nurses, being doctors, bank managers, and what have you. And in the 90s, I knew that computers were not as common as they are today. So what influenced your choice to become a computer engineer or software developer?
Well, I also started with I want to be a doctor.
Oh, okay.
I want to be a teacher. I want to be a lawyer. I
started there, yes, but I believe my love for computers, software development, as it eventually became, it's something that started with time. It's something that it came in. I'm not even sure when it started.
Oh yeah, not even in the senior high school or
no, by then I didn't have any idea I was going to be a computer engineer in the senior high school. No, I didn't. I was given computer engineering was my second choice, even though I wanted to choose computer science. That was my main thing. But my dad said, if you're going to choose computer science, then choose computer engineering. So that's how I fell into computer engineering, and the passion just reared its head from there.
So I know of Alayotrade Ghana Limited and Alayotrade. I personally shop there sometimes. But can you tell those who are watching, in case they've not heard of it before, what Alayotrade is all about?
Okay. So Alayotrade is an online marketplace which focuses on made in Ghana products. So we are targeting vendors who make things in Ghana, cloth, kente, clothing items. So there are fashion designers, those who do the shoes, those who do crafts items, stationery. Those who do these susu box, paintings, basically anything made in Ghana that you can sell.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it only in Ghana or it has international?
Currently, it's only in Ghana.
Only in Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, a friend wanted to buy kente and he was willing to drive all the way from Tema to Ntonsu to get the kente. I told him about Alayotrade and he was reluctant to purchase from there, talking about you paying for something online and it's coming and it's not being what you paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys face such problems and how are you going to address it as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, generally with all online shopping, you would face that. Where somebody orders something, it's not what they ordered, or people are skeptical even if they've not ordered anything. Yes, but at Alayotrade, we make sure that what you order is what you get, because particularly we are in touch with our vendors and we make sure that what they are selling, they actually have it. And if you also have any problem with your item, we have a refund policy that you can get your money back, you can return the item. So we are really strict about making sure the vendor sends you what they are advertising to avoid all these problems.
Okay, so a few weeks ago I saw another rapper on the internet, on Instagram, a hair dealer, and people were blasting her for keeping their monies and not delivering the product.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is your mode of payment? Is it pay before product arrives or pay when the product arrives?
We do you pay on order. So when you order, you have to pay before the item is delivered. But how we work is, you don't pay directly to the vendor. So the vendor is not the one keeping your money. You pay to Alayotrade system. We keep your money until the delivery process is complete and the person has confirmed that they are okay with the item before the seller is paid. So in this case, you are not dealing directly with the vendor, you are dealing with Alayotrade. So if there is any problem, if the seller wants to mistreat you in any way, we can settle that.
Okay, so now tell us some of the benefits of shopping with Alayotrade now.
The main benefit of shopping with Alayotrade is because we are dealing with made in Ghana products. So first of all, you are promoting Ghanaian products. You are promoting the Ghanaian market and boosting the economy. It means that something that you could be buying, maybe a foreign version, you are buying the Ghanaian one. We are showing the beauty in Ghana out there to the world, our products. When I go to a Doom, I see that we have a lot of beautiful products. We have our bags, we have our shoes, we have our clothing, we have our
sneakers. I saw sneakers quite recently and I was amazed.
We have so many beautiful things here, but a lot of these things are not showcased well, they're not marketed well for people to have access to them, even to the Ghanaian market and to the foreign market. And that's why Alayotrade is here, is to give a voice to these beautiful items that we have here to the world and to everybody. So.
Well, I know this hasn't been all rosy. I mean, every business has its own challenges and has its own problems. So can you tell us some of your problems or some of the challenges you face as a business?
Generally, as a business, we are quite new. We are quite new in Ghana. We are still considered as a startup. So the regular startup challenges are what we face: getting the word out there, the marketing, getting known, getting your brand to even be trusted. Okay. That is a main challenge now, but we are working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'm having a great time and learning a lot as well. I hope you are too. The Booth Talkshow returns shortly after this break. welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching the Booth Talkshow brought to you by Phronesis Media Gh. Today we are having an interesting discussion on Africa in this digital age, and we're having it with Mrs. Theresa Samuelle-Adjaidoo. Now let's dive into the second part of the show. I know that Africa is considered the least digitally matured amongst all countries in the world. Why do you think this is?
I think this is because generally by observation, you realize that our technology is a bit backward. Our systems, the way we do things, when you go outside, you'd realize that there's more advancement, there's more development, there's easier ways of doing things than what we do here. So I think generally by observation, it's quite obvious.
And do you believe in the assertion that the Western world has intentionally made it so to make Africa lack in certain areas when it comes to the internet, when it comes to digital things and also technology?
I can't say for sure because I don't really have proof of that assertion, okay. Yes. But it's also not far-fetched. So.
Okay. Anyways, well, Nigeria and South Africa, on the other hand, are known for their notoriety in cyber fraud. And these two countries seem to be the leading countries in terms of economies in Africa. Why do you think this is so?
I believe that with advancements in technology comes a lot of these things. As the good is progressing, then the bad is also progressing to catch up with it. So that could be a reason, yes. But I'd prefer not to focus on that as a developing country. Even though as we are going on, we'll have to put in security measures to prevent some of these things. But to rather focus on the good, which is the good that technology can offer us. Yeah, bad things don't boost economies. That's the
but reality. It's the irony. I mean, Nigeria and South Africa are way here, and let's say I don't want to compare, but Ghana is like, you know what?
We're not so far behind.
We are.
Not
we
really.
Are. Can you compare South Africa and Ghana?
No.
I mean, it separates things altogether. But we are all in Africa.
Yes, yeah. We are all in Africa. There's other reasons that contribute to that, but let's focus on the good because that is a positive direction for our economy. Okay. The good use of technology, how to boost our systems. I believe that that is a better way to progress.
Okay. So do you think we have to compete with the outside world, I mean the Western world, for their technologies, or we should find our own as Africans?
We can do both. We can do both. We don't necessarily need to compete, but we can learn. Because they have good technology, and that's a positive thing. So the spirit shouldn't be that we are competing to be better, to also have better technology. No, there's really no prize in that. But we can learn. And the situations, the conditions are different from here. So we will find that in some ways, even when we bring some technology from there, it may not be well suited to our environment. And in our learning, we can adapt. So then we can modify those tech that we learn to suit our environment and to also improve our lives here. So the spirit shouldn't be competition, but it should be learning to also make our conditions better.
But the learning has been going on since ages. I mean, there's a University of Science and Technology where there are lots of computer science and computer engineering students, but still, we are where we are. Is it that Africa and then technology don't move along? Because this guy, Elon Musk, he's a South African, but he got all his training from the US, from Canada, and he's making big bucks from it. So is it that technology and Africa are not in line, or?
We can't say technology and Africa are not in line. We have our own tech that we have developed. Technology is broad. It's anything that's going to make your life better using science. So it's broad, and there are ways that we can make our own tech to make our lives easier. So we can't just say technology and Africa don't make. If we've been learning all along and we're not seeing improvement the way we want to see it, it means our learning is lacking in a certain way. So we need to find a way to improve our learning. Maybe we need to learn more, or we need to learn right. So then we should be checking our education and the way things are going. We should also be looking at the mindset of the people, how the people think, how they are programmed, their socialization. These are all factors that affect even how we use tech. So these are things that we need to do. Technology and Africa do mix well. I mean, it's people. Technology and people. It's the people that make the tech for the people. Yeah. So
anyways, I was going to ask you a follow-up question about the way Ghanaians think or the way Africans think, because I remember the Ghanaian government brought in drones that will improve on medical service delivery and all that, and it received a widespread of criticisms. Is it because of the way we think as Ghanaians, or is there something causing this kind of behavior among?
I believe that issue has many sides to it. I don't think anybody should logically fight the idea of using drones, of anything that would improve health delivery. That's a noble cause that I don't think anybody would fight. But I believe there's more to that story than just providing medical delivery using drones. I believe the other sides to look at is that a necessity for the nation? Was that the best solution? And how much is going into that, and is it something that we should channel our resources into now? So all these are things that people will look at and lambast the idea or welcome it. But I don't think the outburst or outrage was really about using drones for medical delivery. I mean, that's a noble idea that should be welcomed.
So I know that for the Arab countries like Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, people use social media as a means to incite the mobile of presidents. The famous social media groups like Facebook, there's Instagram, but they are all from the Western world. And I've not heard anything from any African so far. Why is it so?
I haven't heard one from Africa too, but it would be prejudice of me to assume there is none. Maybe it's not popular. But also when it comes to social media, it's actually now, since the domination of Facebook, it's actually very difficult now to get into the social media and get attention. I mean, Google tried with Google+. It was around for some time, and somewhere this year, they finally just laid it to rest. Because in my opinion, I feel like the dominance is very difficult to get there. And I believe that this is because social media, to penetrate the market, you must have something unique and something interesting. Yeah. And that's something Facebook offered. That's something Instagram offered. That's something Twitter offered. Snapchat, WhatsApp. I mean, each of them came in their own unique dimension and got the people to follow. They solved a certain need socially that the people wanted. To do that, to come out with your own, there must be a specific need that you must be addressing, and you must pull the masses along with you. It's not impossible. So we can think if we want to come out with one. But honestly, to start a revolution on social media platform would be easier to use any of these existing platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's easier to use this. But quite recently, I've begun to contemplate the idea of why we need our own businesses, because they boost our economy. So using software made from foreign places boosts their economy. Even though it makes our work easier, it's already done, we just pick it and we use it, but it's boosting somebody else's economy.
Yeah, I heard that when you click on one button, like the like button or the follow button, the developer makes more money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that person is paying taxes elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So if we have our own, then taxes and every other revenue that comes from these digital platforms goes to our economy. So quite recently, I began to contemplate that idea as a necessity for having things that we develop and using our own. So then maybe this is something that we can pick up as a nation.
One time I heard of this thing that in China and in other developing countries, even at the kindergarten level, you have kids working on IT stuff, like developing apps for basic things. Do you think it should be incorporated in our education right from the scratch before they get to the university?
Most definitely. I am of the view that a skill such as computer programming is a basic skill. It's a fundamental skill, especially in this digital age. It's something that is as necessary as learning to speak a language.
Yeah.
So I believe that yes, we are late to the table. in other places, I mean, when I watch Raspberry Pi videos, it's children that are in it. You get it? We are late to the table, but we can also start somewhere. There's always a starting point. So now there are different bodies in different parts of the nation springing up, trying to teach children to code, and that is something that is a good initiative. Okay. The government has taken a step in incorporating ICT in our educational curriculum, such that now, I remember with the old one, the old system, the old syllabus, more of the fundamental things were being done at the JHS level, but in the new syllabus, they are being done now at the basic level, and I think that is excellent. That's an excellent step to go. With that, it means that we are solving computer literacy to a certain point. It means that there's going to be a category of children coming out with from a certain age group that are familiar with the computer. From there, we can take them on to the next step, where they can pick up skills like computer programming skills and help in the area of ICT, building up systems to enhance our economy. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So we are building up systems. Well, even though Africa seems to have been left behind in the development in ICT, in the internet, in this digital age, there has been a massive increase in science and technology, and these are worth noting. However, these are highlights of the brighter future for Africans. Let's catch a glimpse and see what we have. Now, isn't that interesting? My favorite is the pneumonia jacket and its rate of efficiency. I mean, it detects pneumonia faster than a doctor, and all this is from our continent, Africa. I mean, there's hope for the future. So we're going to dive into the scenario questions, and it's more of your idea about something that is going on in the country. Okay. And then, so the first question will be, what do you think will happen if we remain at where we are and the rest of the world progresses?
I don't want to think of that because
sounds scary.
As we are now, it's not okay. And we know it's not okay. Yes, so to remain, I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to imagine as we are now. There's so much difficulty in the nation now, and I don't want to imagine us being the way we are now. So no, we won't be the way we are now. I believe as a nation we should work harder to progress, to make life more meaningful and better here. Yes.
Okay. So who do you think are the main stakeholders for this change? For turning things around, I mean, making technology common?
Yeah, I'd say we the citizens. The people of Africa, the people of Ghana, we are responsible for this change. Everywhere change is effected by the people. We need to change our mindset. We need to change our outlook on life, the way we think about issues, the way we feel about issues. Yes. I quite remember some time ago, somebody asked, so what exactly is the problem with this country? I'm paraphrasing, but look, that was the spirit of the question on Twitter. And all I could think of was, we're selfish as a people.
The people or
the
the
people.
leaders? Oh, okay.
No, I don't usually put blame on leadership,
on the
because the leaders come from the people. Yes.
Yeah.
They were with us and we made them leaders. So they are basically of the same material as we are. So the people, that includes the leaders. We set out looking for things, solutions for ourselves, just to benefit us as individuals. And I believe that's a problem. So to rather have an outlook on issues that benefit everybody, the whole nation, all of us, I think that is the way we should go. Okay. To set out to develop solutions that benefits everybody, looking for the common good.
And even long-term solutions.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, when you want a solution that benefits everybody, you should be thinking in the long term. It's selfish solutions that are usually short-term. Easy. How do I get this done quickly so that I would benefit? And people will stop talking about it. And people will stop talking, and so I wouldn't look bad in the eyes of people. That's where these ad hoc solutions come from. Oh, yeah. But when we want something good, when we're thinking of this generation and the next, that's something that is no good. Yeah. Anyways, what are some of your suggestions towards our reformation, the reformation of our educational system as a country or as a continent? Yeah. I think that as a people, we've taken a good step in updating our curriculum. That's a good step in the educational system. Now, I believe that also in our educational system, well, I first think that we should look at how this curriculum goes. And we begin to see where we can update it and make it better from there. So they've updated it recently? Yeah, there's been a new curriculum update. So throughout, from the basic schools through to the universities? I have seen for the basic school. Okay. I don't know of the university yet, but I have seen just for the basic school. And I believe that that is a good step to make it better. As a nation, we should be able to examine what we've done for a long time and take lessons from it and know where to go in the next step. So I think that's a step in the right direction. Yes, and recently also, as a company, we embarked on a non-profit initiative to provide practical ICT services and ICT lessons training for children in the rural community. So we did that in the Mountford community. For the JHS students, Mountford is in the central region. Okay. Yes. They were preparing to write their just ended BEC, and they had never had practical ICT lessons. Wow. Yes, they have ICT teachers who take them through the theories of what they have in the book, in the textbook. So the teachers are doing their best, but they don't have the facilities. Oh, okay. Yes. So we were able to mobilize some resources to give them a one-week training of the practicalities of what they have been taught in class. And I think that was very beneficial for them. Yes. So I believe that to be able to set up ICT labs in such communities to give the children a feel of what they are actually learning would really help. Because I mean, as a JHS, you don't even know how to create an email. Honestly, it's disturbing. Disheartening. Yeah, yes. I'm sad for that. So I believe that's a step in the right direction, and that is something we did as a small group. And I know that there are other bodies all around doing similar things to help. Yeah. So as a nation, if that is something the government and the people would pick up, the people would do, I believe that that's a good thing. That would really help. Okay. So do you have any words for the viewers or anybody watching? And what I would want to say is that Ghana belongs to us. We are the people who live here. In our own small way, how we can help, the things that we can do. Let's stop thinking of ourselves. I mean, what we would eat as an individual, how I can be made a better person, and start thinking of what can I do so that everybody in this nation would be helped, everybody would be happy. What can I do so that my neighbor would benefit? I believe that having an outlook, being able to see the people beyond ourselves, beyond our families, is something that would really benefit us. to begin to live one for the other and not just live for ourselves. It's easy to live for yourself. I mean, if it's just me, oh, come on, if I get something small, I'll be fine. But to be able to look beyond yourself, that which pertains to you, and to look for the good of others, that's something we should pick up as a nation.
Okay. So thank you very much for this information, and we're very grateful. We hope to invite you to another episode next time.
Sure. Thank you, Adjoa, for having me. I've enjoyed my time here.
That's amazing. Now, there you have it. Africa is the birthplace for civilization and technology, and thus should be spearheading the great advancements this world has to offer, rather than sitting on the sidelines and waiting for others to do it. We can, however, change our attitudes and make this into a reality. This is where we'll draw the curtains to today's episode of the Booth Talkshow. My guest was Mrs. Theresa Samuelle-Adjaidoo, and she is the CEO of Alayotrade Ghana Limited. Now, this is still the Booth Talkshow, brought to you by Phronesis Media Gh. Follow Phronesis Media Gh on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Phronesis TV Gh. My name is Adjoa Dubai, and I am your humbled host for the Booth Talkshow. Meet me same time next week on this very channel for another interesting episode of the Booth Talkshow. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.